I just rewatched M.A.S.K, the cartoon, and I have some questions, okay? I remember hanging out after school, popping on the cartoons, and seeing a little red Camaro, gull wing doors pop up, and it fly off and drop bombs and shoot lasers, and I thought it was the coolest thing I've ever seen. Does it hold up? I went back and rewatched it, and I'm going to tell you. Here we're going to go through the good, the bad, and the what the f***. Okay, so because there's a lot of what the f*** in M.A.S.K, let me tell you. So, first of all right, so just to jog your memory a little bit, if you haven't seen it in 40 years like I had, so the gist is M.A.S.K is transforming vehicles run by this seemingly a millionaire like Matt Trakker. He's just kind of a generic dude. It looks a little like a Duke type, but he's got like mad dad jeans energy. He's not, even though he is cool because he's like driving, supercars and he's flipping through windows and he's got, superpowers and everything. He's cool, but he's not. Anyway, he has a strike force of specialists. And the second that he finds out that Venom, the vicious evil network of mayhem, is at it again, Matt logs into a supercomputer and he says, give me the best dudes for the job, or best people for the job, and Glory Baker. And then we go and we flash to them, and they all have different, day jobs, and then, they're doing whatever. Like Bruce Sato is making a toy, Alex Sector is, hanging out at his shop. Now this brings one of my first questions here. It's just like, first you go like, oh, this guy's an architect. Okay, he's an architect. Side battles Venom. That wait. But then you get to like Dusty Hayes. It's like he's a pizza delivery dude. It's like, Matt, you gotta pay your people better. The poor Dusty Hayes has to sling pizzas. Maybe he's at his pizza parlor. Is like a family thing. Is a passion project. I think if you're going out every day and you're risking your life fighting Venom, then you should be paid a living wage. Okay, I'm not trying to be Bernie Sanders over here. I'm just saying, if you're risking your life, you get paid. You should get paid. So Matt's son is Scott Trakker, which is his adopted son. Okay, so Scott is adopted. We found this out. And Scott has a robot friend, T-Bob, who is so he's an AI, and this is what I don't get. He's an AI, and he's there to protect and help Scott, but he's completely useless 85% of the time. He's absolutely scared of everything. You can just change the button, make him a badass. Why are you gonna have this little stupid robot running around? T-Bob's kind of adorable though, so some people hate on T-Bob and Scott. Scott's kind of annoying. I mean, you have these kids. First of all, Matt Trakker's a terrible parent, because Scott is constantly stowing away in the back of the truck, and then no one notices, and then he and T-Bob show up, and then they almost die, and then somehow they rescue, and then somehow they miraculously save the day, which is nobody wants to see that. Matt, get your shit together, get yourself in control of your kid, get that kid in line, because he's gonna die. Your kid's gonna die, and it's gonna be your fault. It's going to be your fault. If Scott dies, it's your fault. That's all I'm saying. You let him stow away 55 times, take away his goddamn iPad. I don't know, whatever. He didn't have iPads back then. He's got a friend, whatever. Tell him to kill T-Bob. Just kill T-Bob. If you'll, that's what I would do. Because he's an AI, and he's annoying as shit. So every single episode is kind of the same. It's some variation of Venom do something bad, Matt and team go fight. Scott stows away. Scott almost dies. Matt doesn't think about how to be a better parent. And in the end, Scott somehow helps, even though he screws everything up every single time. So that's basically the premise. It's a repetitive premise, but it's fun and it works. And what makes it work is a few different things, right? So let's talk about the good, the bad, and the what The Okay, let's talk about the good. The soundtrack. Damn, that song is stuck in my brain for the rest of I'm never going to get it. I was editing a video on the mythology of M.A.S.K, and I listened to the song 700 million times, as you do when you edit. And now I literally, it's replaced thoughts that I used to have about my life. It's replaced almost everything. It's replaced the chant of self-loathing that is usually there. It is just everywhere. M.A.S.K. Yeah, it's just all I can hear is M.A.S.K. Yeah, it's never gonna go away. It is a banger of a song. Let's just put it that way. Second, the animation. The animation is really, really good. So this is from Deke, which eventually got the nickname Do It Cheaper, somebody gave it. And later they completely destroyed the G.I. Joe, second wave of the G.I. Joe cartoon. The action scenes are really fun. I mean, I think the highlight is to watch those vehicles. That's every episode. You want to watch those vehicles go into battle and start going crazy and, revealing all their weapons. That is the fun of the show, is seeing all of the capabilities of these different vehicles. And okay, another good, people get hurt. All right, now they don't get hurt, nobody dies, but there are several episodes where somebody is hospitalized and then has to pull out of it later, which is important. Now you got to have somebody getting a little messed up. When you've got, you're battling cars, you're fighting, there should be consequences. And a lot of times in, I think, cartoons of the era, you don't see a lot of the characters getting hurt. And so I appreciate that. I would like them to get hurt more. I would like Scott and T-Bob to maybe get, crushed by a boulder or something. But, I get it's a cartoon from the 80s and, there's not going to be horrific death, unfortunately. The bad. Okay, so let's talk about the bad. And this is not really a shot on M.A.S.K here. This is kind of a shot on just about every 80s cartoon and cartoons in general. Is that the good guys are always kind of boring. They're always a little boring, a little bland. They're, Matt Trakker. He's not the most exciting, dude you've ever seen in an action show. He doesn't have a great sense of humor or really any at all. And usually you'd have a wisecracking member of the team or something. No, not really. They're all kind of stiff, stoic superhero dudes. And the villains. Now, in general, the villains are awesome because the villains are always more awesome than the heroes in basically every show. I would say that's pretty much true about every show. The heroes are kind of stiff. And this is one of the reasons why I'm going to say G.I. Joe. Everything goes back to G.I. Joe for me, yeah, obviously. I'm not going to sit here and say that G.I. Joe is the greatest cartoon of the 80s. I'm not sure I know what is yet. I got to get an answer for you as I watch all of them. What I will say I like about G.I. Joe is you had the stiff, stoic heroes, but you also had some weird ones. Some of them were really weird. For instance, Shipwreck is that's why we all love Shipwreck so much, is because he's kind of a scumbag, right? He's like a sailor, on shore leave. He's trying to bang everything, even the fish lady. He is out for it. And, that just makes him, contrasted to somebody like Matt Trakker and his team. He's just way more exciting, way more interesting. But there are other characters on G.I. Joe that are as boring as Matt Trakker. But, they could liven up a little bit. Give me something in this group of people. Something to liven it up just a little bit. They're all really stiff. Venom. Venom is absolutely far more fascinating than the M.A.S.K guys. In general, Venom is really good. The one guy I'm not all that sold on, Miles Mayhem, the leader of Venom. As for big bads in series, he's low on the totem pole here. He's low on the totem pole of cool, because basically he looks like Wilford Brimley. Right? He's an old guy, and all I can think of the whole time that I'm watching him is Wilford Brimley.
If you have type 2 diabetes like I have,
then that just comes up, and then it throws me. So he's just not that. It's okay, that's your bad guy. Wilford Brimley's your bad guy. People with diabetes. But like really, like this is one of the things about the show that I don't get. Is you got like some guys have masks that are like really cool, right? It's like Matt Trakker has like 7 masks, right? He's got Spectrum, which can do everything. It can do anything. It can make you pee your pants. It can like make him fly. It can shoot laser bolts out of his eye. He can do anything he wants with it. Anything that they come up with, you have a problem, Spectrum. But then he has other masks, which is zero reason to take these masks, right? So he has a mask Spectrum, and he has like a one that like shoots an ink like a fog. It's like, oh, should I take the one that makes me fly or the one that shoots smoke? It's a smoke machine. I think I'll take the one that makes me fly. You know, so that doesn't make any sense. It's like he should always have a Spectrum. And then you got all these other people. You're like, you wonder what happened in the handing out of masks. It's like, oh, here you go, Hondo. This one shoots laser blasts. That's kind of badass. Here you go, Dusty. This is here you go, Gloria Baker. This shoots like an energy beam. That's pretty cool. And then you get like some people get like the shittiest masks. Right, like they just do fuck all, right? Like you got Boris Bushkin, his mask shoots red stars that they just go like, he does like a little fireworks to spread. They don't hurt you. He just shoots the stars out and they go boom, 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 boom. And then you got my absolute favorite of the mask is Julio Lopez, who has a mask that does this, okay? So it shoots a variety of white sticky liquids. That's what it says. A variety. Not one. Any white sticky liquid that you can think of, it's going to shoot. Take it, Lil Jon. The other guy that also is Nevada Rushmore. Great name. I mean, that's such a porn name. It's such a good porn name. I mean, it's just like, if you are a Native American porn star, that is your name. Please take that name. But anyway, this is amazing. Shoots little totem poles. Little tiny totem poles. Why? Why are they totem poles? I love that. One thing that is awesome about this show is, man, does it lean into stereotypes. But anybody saying Spirit Iron Knife is a stereotype needs to take a look at Nevada Rushmore. Okay? Because they could not make this guy look more of a stereotype.
Totem on!
And okay, before you people in the comments scream at me like I'm being woke because I'm talking about how stereotypes are wrong, I am from Generation X, okay? Which means I acknowledge and see when things are ridiculous. I'm not angry about them. I'm not a millennial. I'm not angry about them. I'm not of this generation. I'm not angry about them. I think it's funny. I'm bringing it up because it's funny. And it's hilarious. He's literally shooting totem poles. It's like if it was Mexican and he was shooting burritos. I mean, it really is hilarious. The whole show is full of stereotypes, too. This is another thing. Of course, the worst stereotype is probably Brusado. I always love Brusado. He's a little bit of an Asian stereotype as he sort of says Confucianist-like sayings. I feel like you couldn't do that now. I feel like he really does read like a stereotype. And his sayings never make any sense. Like, they just don't add up.
If a fish flies, look not for a fish, but a bird inside.
There he goes again, Matt.
Like, come on. Like, what does that even mean? I don't get it at all. His mask lifter is like, it basically gives him telekinetic powers. This is what I'm saying. You get the telekinetic powers, you get totem pole launching and skeets. You know, that is not... Give me that helmet. I would be like, if I was Julio Lopez, I would be like, yo, I got glue, and he gets to lift things with his mind. Then you get some of these masks are so powerful. Like, first of Penetrator, which is just a really an unfortunate name for your mask. Buddy Hawk says Penetrator. Okay. Now, he literally can phase through reality. He can, like, walk through walls. He can make himself just, like, shit passes right through him. And then you got Gulliver, which he can shrink people. I mean, he can shrink... I don't know. What's funny is, like, they waste all their time battling. They're going through. They're using their vehicles. They've got all these weapons. And all you would need to do is just, like, get 10 masks, like, that are Gulliver. Have them just stand there, shrink everybody. Go over and just step on the Venom people. And the Venom Master too is similar. Like there's some that are so ridiculously overpowered. It's crazy. Like Powerhouse, which is Nash Gory. He's like a nerdy dude, and he gets superhuman strength. So he gets superhuman strength. And then poor Lester Sludge, he shoots mud. He shoots mud. What are you gonna do with that? It's like you got people who can shoot like darts and shit, and then you got Lester Sludge. He shoots mud. You imagine like you're the mask guy, you're getting hit. He's like, you've slightly inconvenienced me and dirtied my clothes. I'll get you. Lester Sludge gets the shit. That's officially, by the way, the shittiest mask that anybody has in this entire show. Unless, what do you think? What do you think the shittiest mask is? You tell me in the comments below. So that's M.A.S.K. Should you watch it? Where does it fit in the pantheon of 80s, cartoons? I'm going to put it pretty high. I actually think does it hold up? You should watch it. It is fun. It's really good. It holds up. There's a lot of action scenes. It's pretty solid. I'd give it a watch. I highly recommend it. That's my take on M.A.S.K. Let me know what cartoons I should watch next and watch a review next. And check out this review right here.